Go, go, go. It's live. But nobody's here, honey.
Takes time. So, today?
Why don't we first go over our week first?
Let's do that.
You want to start with yours?
No, go ahead. I have to look mine up. Cacao's turned off?
It's not cacao?
No, on your computer, cacao's turned off?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Okay. All right. So, you're supposed to say, hello, everyone. How are you?
Honey!
What?
You met celebrated today.
Oh, I guess so, yeah. I met,
저스틴 오늘 연예인을 만났어요.
yes, Mr. Park Jun
박준영.
Young. I just know him by June. Not because I know him personally, but because...
So he says, oh, I'm June.
No, I just said, oh, June, right? He's like, oh, yeah. Who are you? I'm like, oh, actually, I'm one of the owners of Cali with Chuck. And, before it was Kenny, and Kenny talked a lot about you. So, oh, yeah. What was your name again? Justin. Oh, yeah, he mentioned you. Probably not. But yeah, so I saw him came to Cali today. He was just eating with his wife and daughter, baby daughter. I think probably five or six or 4. I don't know, but she's little. She's cute. And then I went there because one, Chuck couldn't go because he was at church, but two, because I wanted to thank him. I realized after he did What's Up, Man, actually for our restaurant, it had a big impact. We went from maybe you should turn your sound off, honey.
Okay, let me translate it first. So 그래서 오늘 저스틴이 연예인을 누굴 만났냐면 G.O.D 박준영 씨 아시잖아요.
Yeah.
박준영 씨가 캘리 키친에 오늘 왔었어요. 근데 오늘 저스틴이랑 동업하는 척이 캘리 키친에 없었어. 그래가지고 누구든지 오너가 한 명 갔어야 됐어.
Yeah.
그래서 저스틴이 오늘 박준영 씨가 캘리 키친에 오늘 부인분이랑 딸이랑 밥을 먹으러 와가지고 저스틴이 가서 고맙다고 했어요. Why do you
So
thank
actually,
him?
I didn't know because Kenny, he was our third partner before he went back to America. Him and June are best friends, like literally best friends from childhood.
From LA.
From LA, but from childhood. So like.
저희 캘리 키친에 워낙에 오너가 3명이었어요. 척이랑 저스틴이랑 케니라고 한 명 있었는데 지금은 이제 미국으로 돌아갔는데 원래 오너가 3명이 있었거든요. 근데 이 케니가 G.O.D 박준영 씨랑 엄청 친해요. 완전 어렸을 때부터 친구.
Yeah, they grew up together, like skateboarding and around Orange County, and so.
You know what we said? 불알 친구.
What is that?
불알 is scrotum.
Okay. So maybe they're burao chingu. But anyways, so I didn't know, but I guess at some point Kenny was said, "Hey, why don't you film that show here?" And but Kenny never told us that. I said, "Why don't you invite him here sometime?" He's
Literally,
a celebrity.
honey, maybe 3 years later,
Maybe. Well,
the
no.
truth revealed.
Yeah, the truth revealed. And so actually, when he talked to him, they were filming actually close by, like that beer area. And so he said, "Oh, okay." And he came that day. That's when they filmed.
그러니까 저스틴이 사실 이제 코로나 이번에 너무 힘들었잖아요, 장업자분들한테. 근데 이제 저스틴이 얘기한 게 캘리 키친이 코로나를 잘 이겨낼 수 있었던 이유가 코로나 전에 왓츠업맨에 G.O.D 박준영 씨가 캘리 키친에 와가지고는 너무 맛있게 드셔주셨어요. 근데 아까 얘기 들었어요. 케니랑 불알 친구거든요. 그래서 우리는 몰랐지. 우리는 박준영 씨 그냥 왔는 줄 알았어, 지금까지. 근데 오늘 박준영 씨가 얘기하기를 케니가 너 그런 거 촬영하면은 우리 가게에도 한번 와. 이렇게 부탁을 했었다는 거야. 근데 3년 동안 우리한테 얘기를 안 했어.
So actually what happened was they were filming at another place, but they were so new. They got kicked out.
Why?
Because they had camera crew and nobody knew what they were doing.
그때 왓츠업 초반이라 막 이태원 다른 레스토랑에서 막 찍고 있었는데 뭐냐고 나가라고 막 이랬대요.
And so what ended up happening was when he talked to Kenny, he's like, oh, okay, and they just came over. So it was kind of a
그냥 그날 바로 온 거래요. 예고도 없이.
So anyways, like we talked, and then I didn't know that Kenny actually invited, because we talked to Kenny about it, And, you know, he always said, oh, yeah, I mean, June comes here sometimes, but I don't want to ask him, like, I don't want to impose, right? Because he's so busy and they're best friends, right? And so anyways, because of that, I think our customers, it was mostly foreigners, but after that show, it became mostly domestic.
맞아요. 그 왓챠맨에 나오기 전에는 캘리키친에 오시는 분들이 거의 내가 볼 때 80%?
I think 70% international.
거의 70%는 외국인 손님밖에 없었어요. 그 외국인 분들한테 더 유명한 레스토랑이었거든요.
Yeah.
근데 왓챠맨에 나오면서 한국 분들한테 알려지기 시작한 거지.
So that was actually, I think, July 20...
You remember the date?
I remember July because the July was such a different month. Like our everything changed about our profile.
왓챠맨에 나오고 나서 엄청 수익이 완전 달라졌대.
July 2019, 2018. And then that helped us. And then COVID hit, right?
그러고 나서 이제 코로나가 시작됐죠.
And then think about it. With COVID, no foreigners. The military base.
코로나 때문에 왜 외국인들이 안 오시잖아요, 한국에. 그러니까 이제 외국인 고객들이 많이 줄었고 또 이제 미군 캠프도 평택으로 이사를 갔고 막 그래서 캘리키친 힘들었는데.
So I think that literally
맞아요.
he probably saved us. Not intentionally, but I think because if not COVID, when it hit, there's no way we could have survived.
그래서 박준영 씨도 아마 이런 식으로 우리를 도와줄지는 기대는 안 했었을 텐데 생각은 안 했었을 텐데 어떻게든 이렇게 도와줘서 So you wanna express
So because I realized we haven't seen him since he came that one time.
왓챠맨 찍고 나서 한 번도 못 봐가지고 고맙다는 얘기를 한 번도 할 일이 없을 때.
Kenny moved back to America, so there's no reason for him to come. So I realized like because our house, like, oh, June is here. I'm like, who? Oh, what's up, man? Oh, huh? Like Chuck couldn't go, and I was like, I'm not starstruck, you know, and I don't want to be, because he's my partner's best friend. So I'm like, and then I realized, we never said thank you. So I just went there to say thank you and see if he's talked to Kenny, and actually, I think Kenny's having his own struggles. So, but it was good.
고맙다는 말을 할 기회가 없어가지고는 고맙다는 말하러 갔었다고.
He's 10 years older than me.
10 years older
Same
than
age
you?
as Kenny, so 10 years older than me.
박준현 씨가 저스틴보다 10살이 많다고 하네요.
So think about it. If I'm old, he's old plus 10. Go get it! But he's cool. He's really nice.
But you should repay him. How gonna repay him?
Actually, so he filmed at our place. We didn't ask for anything or charge him anything either. So
Even today?
It was some of his earliest content. So think about it. Another restaurant kicked him out. So I think it's mutual.
그때 왓챠맨 찍었을 때 음식값을 안 받았다고 하네요.
No, but again, lots of appreciation for
맞아.
him. That's very helpful.
Yeah, that was good, honey. Finally, you can express your gratitude.
Actually, so I didn't take a picture because I didn't.
저스틴은 사진 안 찍었어. 제가 그랬거든요. 캘리키친에 박준영 씨 왔다 그래서 저스틴 빨리 가서 사진 찍어. 네.
But the staff, they really wanted to take a picture, so I don't know if you can see.
캘리키친에 일하시는 직원분들 같이 다 이렇게 해서 찍었다고 해요.
So they all took
Everybody's
a
so
picture.
happy, honey.
So happy.
Oh.
So I mean that's good. I told him before too because I was like, hey, you know, I hope it's not imposing, but I think our staff really wants to take a picture. Oh, it's cool, man. It's cool. All right, I'm taking off, but thanks so much. All right, yeah, okay. And then I left, and then they sent this. So I think they were happy. So,
Good.
See, don't you want to work at Cali Kitchen?
Me? Honey, I am expensive.
No, you make the same price as everybody else. But then you can meet wonderful people like this.
저보고 캘리키친에서 일하라고. Okay, that was your today.
That was my just today. But you can go with your week.
Oh, what about your week, honey?
My week? My week was just the same. Just lots of work, lots of restaurants. Because we're trying to hire more people. So Pineapple, we're trying
여전히 여러분 직원들을 구하고 있다고 합니다.
And it's so hard. But we hired 2 new people for Pineapple.
2 new people.
And Callie has some new people. Gentleman is okay, but because of
요즘에
that,
계속 새로운 분들 고용하고 있다고 해요.
because of that scheduling, because I do all the scheduling for all the kitchens and I'm moving people around.
저스틴 맨날 하는 게 엑셀 보면서 그 스케줄 짜는 거.
It's not Excel. It's a program, but that takes so long. It literally takes me almost 2 days.
진짜?
Because students, I have a test coming up next week.
대부분 이제
I forgot to
대학생들이
say.
많으니까.
This or this or that.
네, 우리 뭐 시험 있어요, 뭐 해야 돼요, 막 이런 거 막 그거 이제 빼주고 하려고 하면은 스케줄링 하는데 그렇게 시간이 오래 걸려요.
So we try to be helpful, and then on top of that, now payroll. Like it's probably 50% more staff. So now I have to go through and do everybody's timesheets and put it in. I'm like, oh Jesus. So,
because they got paid based on the time.
yes.
그러네요. 아르바이트
'Cause they're
대부분 이제
part-timers.
일한 시간에 따라서 돈을 받으니까
Oh.
그 시간 계산해서 또 이제 월급 줘야 될 거예요.
I'm open to advice if anybody has easier ways of doing things.
누가 이거 쉽게 하는 방법 좀 알려달래요?
I'm very open.
Honey, see, I'm not doing that.
Because it's a full-time job.
If I open my own clinic, I should do that.
Yeah. But at the hospital, but think about it. It's because everybody's full-time at a hospital, right? So they get a salary, they work 40 hours, they leave. That's what all the residents in Korea right now do. They come in and they leave after 40 hours.
Okay, can I go by my week?
Yes, please go by your week.
Okay, last Monday. Oh, so last Sunday we went to jazz festival.
That's right. That's why I'm so dark.
You're not dark,
Really?
but you got tan.
I got
I
burned.
think you got tan.
I think maybe that's from getting pimples because too much sun exposure or something.
Where?
Pimple.
No
Pimple
It's not
here.
a pimple.
It's pimple. Oh.
햇빛을 너무 많이 봐가지고는 여드름이 생긴 것 같아요. 그랬고 우리 재즈 페스티벌 갔다 왔고
That was
저는
nice though. You don't want to talk about it? So let's talk about helpful hints about the jazz festival. Number 1, go early.
여러분 재즈 페스티벌 만약에 내년에 가시게 되면 저희가 팁을 드리겠습니다. 저스틴이 주는 팁.
Number 1, go early
일찍 가세라.
and sit under the shade.
그늘에 앉아라. That's it?
That's it.
What about food?
Just buy it.
No, next time if I go there, I wanna pack my food.
No,
Maybe
you should
make a
support the
food
vendors.
도시락.
What if we're there? What if Catley Kitchen or Pineapple? You should buy the food. But I noticed there's tip 2 for anybody ever selling anything at the jazz festival.
저스틴 만약에 재즈 페스티벌에서 만약 음식을 팔게 되시는 분들한테 말씀드리는 거예요.
Sell anju.
안주를 파세요.
You don't need big meals or anything fancy. Just anju.
밥을 먹으러 오는
Little
사람은
things you can share.
없습니다.
Right. Number 3.
안주를 파세요.
This is a money secret. Money generating secret.
돈을 벌 수 있는 비밀.
I don't know if I want to share.
What?
Because it's such a money-making secret for any festival during the daytime.
왜냐면 we
During
went to
summertime.
so many festivals
The secret.
in America.
Just bring 3 big ice machines and just sell ice. Lowest cost, highest margin. Sell it for...
저스틴이 만약에 재즈스페에서 진짜 돈 벌고 싶다. 그러면은 제빙기 가져와가지고 컵에 얼음만 담아서 팔아라.
Just sell ice. That's you can make the most money just selling ice.
How much was it? The
I don't
ice.
know, maybe 2,000 or 3,000 won. How much does it cost?
2,000원, 3,000원 정도 되대요.
How much do you think it costs?
컵에
to make
얼음
it?
든 게.
Yeah, just 1 cup.
근데 그게 원가가 얼마가 되겠어요?
Right? And think about it. How much does it cost? The cup price and water and electricity. That's the highest margin. Just sell to all the other restaurants. Easiest business. Just sell ice.
너무 쉬운 비즈니스 아이디어래.
Sell it to the CU. They ran out of ice.
그게 우리 지난주 일요일 날 갔었던 거고 월요일 날 저는 I did a 2 eye surgery. 눈성형 2개 했었고 월요일 날 외래 받고 and Tuesday I did a breast aug, top surgery, scar revision, eye surgery. Actually that eye surgery. 그래서 저희 강동성심병원에 김밥집에서 일하시는 분이 계신데 저한테 제가 맨날 김밥 사러 갔었거든요. 가끔 상담을 하시더니 오셔서 수술을 받으셨습니다. 그리고 수요일에는 it was local election day.
Did you vote?
No, I didn't. I'm so ashamed. Oh, it's so shameful.
Oh, it's so
근데
interesting.
요즘에 정치에 관심이 없어졌어요, 여러분. 그냥 포기하게 됐어요. 많은 분들 이번 투표율이 되게 낮았죠? 저처럼 생각하신 분들이 많았던 것 같아요. That's Wednesday. And Thursday I did a breast reconstruction, immediate breast reconstruction. 가슴 재건했고 목요일은 Friday는 우리 성악정 수술 하시는 분이 마름 설주 같이 하셨고 성악정 수술 하시고 가슴 확대 수술도 하셨고 그리고 저녁에는 제가 보스턴에서 알게 된 친구가 있거든요. 그 친구가 제가 2012년에 처음 만났더라고요. 10년지기 친구인데 한국에 maybe we need to find a girlfriend for Tad.
He's fine. He can find his own.
보스턴에 사는 친구인데 한국에 자주 와요. 10년지기 친구인데 근데 이번에 코로나 풀려가지고는 한국에 놀러 와가지고 근데 어떻게 또 테드 생일이었어요 이번에. 그래서 생일을 축하했습니다.
Happy birthday. But we went to BDBD.
BD
Wendell's new bar.
이태원에 있는 BDBD라는 바에 갔었어요.
What do you think?
I want to go back. It's very cool.
It's very cool. But actually, so it gets busier later at night. Like people were starting to move in.
But we are old.
So we were leaving when it started getting busy.
그 이태원에 새로 생긴 BDBD, ABCD 할 때 BDBD라는 바거든요. 저스틴 친구가 하는 바인데 너무 인테리어 너무 잘 해놨더라고요.
That's nice. He spent a lot of money.
DJ도 있고.
DJ was hot.
DJ가 핫했다네요.
That's what Tad said.
근데 그랬어요. 뭐 칵테일 마시고 왔습니다. It was fun.
It was nice.
그래요. 너무 잘 해놨더라고요. So what is such a cool bar, honey. 근데 조금 더 시간이 들면은 이제 사람들이 많이 오고 그러는데 저희는 늙은 관계로 너무 피곤해서 because we're old, we got tired so easily, we come home early.
Yes.
그랬습니다. 그게 Friday. Saturday, what did we do?
Saturday
Yesterday.
he went to the hospital in the morning.
그렇게 그래서
Right? I think I were.
So we went 비리비리. I was so tired next day. I had an outpatient clinic on Saturday. So outpatient clinic, I came home, eat and sleep. 너무 피곤해. 그 다음날 너무 피곤해가지고는 외래 보고 나서 집에 와서 밥 먹고 잤습니다.
And then that's today. What happened today?
Today, what a such a meeting, interesting meeting.
Nick, go away. Nick, go away.
비켜줄래? 우리 닉이 와가지고는 옆에 와서 있었어요. 오늘 모니카 우리 저랑 같이 Q+ 하는 말레티브의 모니카 있잖아요. 모니카도 왔었고 그리고 저희 강동성심병원 코디네이터 새로 오신 분도 왔었고 또 다큐멘터리 제작한 감독님 그리고 또 미국에서 공부하시는 교수님 되게 어떻게 보면은 되게 상관없는 사람들끼리 모여가지고는 너무 재밌게 놀았습니다. 너무 다양한 주제에 대해서 이야기가 끊이지 않고 너무 재밌게 놀았던 것 같아요.
You had a good time?
I had a really good time. I was like, we should make a group. 뭔가 모임을 만들고 싶었어. 너무 재밌어가지고는. 너무 근데 그 재밌다는 게 이런 거 있잖아요. 사람들 만나면 어떤 때는 나 오늘도 시간 낭비했구나 막 이런 생각 드는 게 아니라 오늘 만나면 진짜 만나서 얘기하는데 그런 시간 낭비했다는 생각이 내가 진짜 많은 걸 배웠구나 막 이런 생각이 드는 거예요. 그래서 막 모임을 만들고 싶다고 그랬죠. You know, when you meet people, sometimes you feel like I waste time again, right? But this meeting was really good.
Oh, really?
A lot of insightful discussions.
Interesting. I was in my room doing the schedule for the next week for all the staff and for next week because we're going out of town soon.
네, 맞아요. Han is here, honey.
Han!
Oh, you spent a week so like fighting.
So tired, Han. Han, you're doing finals now, right? I
Finals?
think, or exam? It's exam time. That's why.
기말고사 볼 시기인 것 같다고.
Or next week
저스틴이.
is next week is exam. At least that's what.
다음 주, 다다음 주.
All of our. That's why I know. That's why it's so hard. All of our students they have to take time
저스틴이
off.
그걸 어떻게 하냐면 캘리키친 뭐 이런 일하시는 분들이 대학생들이 많으니까 시험 주간에는 막 빼줘야 되고 막 이런 게 많아가지고 저스틴 그래서 안 돼요.
Anyways, good luck.
Han
Fighting.
must be so busy. 한님 너무 바쁘실 것
First
같아요.
semester.
right? 처음이니까 첫 학기니까 많이 바쁘시겠지. Yes.
Good luck.
그러시네요.
Fighting.
오늘은 제가 아까 저스틴이랑 얘기했던 오늘 무슨 얘기 할까 하다가
You said you want to talk about.
우리 장례식에 대해서 한번 얘기해 볼까 그 생각했어요. 왜냐하면 저희가 최근에 장례식에 한번 다녀왔었거든요. So I was thinking, what should I talk about? I think maybe we can talk about our funeral because recently we went to a funeral.
So, out of all of the cultural activities or events in Korea, the only thing that I've been to so many times so far is funerals.
Not a wedding?
That's second. But I think by far funerals is 2 times, 3 times that. But actually, you know what else I realized when I was thinking about
Okay,
that?
can I
Oh, sure.
translate it?
Go ahead.
저스틴이 지금 뭐라 그러냐면 자기가 지금 한국에 와서 한 모든 행사 중에 장례식 간 일이 제일 많다. 내가 그래서 그러면 결혼식은 그랬더니 장례식이 제일 많이 갔고 그 다음 많이 간 게 결혼식. Han said my meet score was good.
That means he did well. Good.
와.
How's your English
축하드립니다.
score? Are you taking an English class?
honey, there's no English class. 한님은 만약에 영어 클래스가 있었으면
you don't know what he's
A
taking.
클래스인데 영어는 안 하시겠죠, 뭐 지금.
But you know what I realized? Our age, we're now in our early 40s. So actually, if you think about it, a lot of parents and older, they're probably in their maybe 60s to 80s. So we're at the age where now, you know, people are getting older and passing away. Like our parents, our friends' parents and everything. So that's why. This is like the time frame where it's hard for a lot of people, yeah.
저스틴이 얘기하는 게 저희가 이제 40대 초반이잖아요. 그러니까 이제 저희 부모님들이 약간 이제 저희 나이 또래 친구들의 부모님들 이제 약간 그런 시기라는 거죠. 이제
And you know what else?
돌아가시고 막 이런 시기니까 장례식 갈 일도 많고 막 그래서 Han, he's taking English class.
See?
Justin helped me a lot.
How? Through here? But the other thing, not many people are getting married. Think about how many of your friends that are single.
저스틴이 뭐라고요? 근데 이거 생각해봐. 네 친구 중에 많은 사람들이 결혼 안 하잖아 요즘에.
Think about it. How many?
I have a lot of single friends. What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong, but that's why I said I've been to almost 2-3x times funerals than weddings. Because people aren't getting married. I'm not saying get married. I'm just making a point. How many of our friends do we know are single? A lot, right? So, you know, economically, a lot of younger people aren't getting married. That's all.
And then,
What's my
what's
point?
that with the funeral?
So that's why I'm saying I've been to more funerals than I have weddings. Do you understand? Like,
Yeah.
like it's not a 1-for-1 or anything. It's like literally like.
지금 제가 저스틴이 한국에 와서 참여한 행사 중에 장례식장 간 게 제일 많은 것 같다. 조문 간 게 제일 많은 것 같다라고 얘기하는 게 이제 결혼을 요즘에 많이 안 하시잖아요. 제 친구 중에는 결혼 안 하신 분 되게 많거든요. 뭐 비혼주의자도 있고. 그러니까 결혼식은 그렇게 많이 안 가고 그 다음 거고 일단 조문 간 경우가 더 많다. What do you think about the funeral culture in Korea? 한국 장례식 문화에 대해서 저스틴이 되게 신기하더라고요.
Are you asking me because you want me to offend people?
I'm just asking, what do you think?
I mean, I know there's cultural context and ties to Confucianism and everything, and that's why it's 3 days. It used to be many more, right?
제가 저스틴한테 막 설명했거든요. 우리가 유교적, 이거 유교 맞죠? 유교적으로 막 3일장도 있고, 원래 예전에는 49제라고 해서 부모님 무덤 옆에다가 이렇게 움막 짓고 그랬다고 하잖아요. 원래 그게 전통이지만 지금 많이 간소화돼가지고는 그렇게 3일을 하면서 그렇게 한다.
But I don't like it.
진짜 안 좋아한대. 한님이 지금 뭐라 그러냐? What is the difference between Korean and American funeral?
So typical Western funeral.
저스틴 말하는 전형적인 서양의 장례식.
I think the biggest difference. It's one day. It's one event.
저스틴 하루다. 하루의 한 행사.
Like an event. So that means there's a start and an end time. Like a
시작하는 시간이 있고 끝나는 시간이 있어.
And that's the biggest thing. I mean, because every religion celebrates a little differently, right?
물론 이제 종교에 따라 약간 좀 차이가 나긴 하지만.
But typically just one evening for like 2-3 hours, maybe 4 hours, or day morning time. But it's set. It's a funeral or a memorial service. It's not this long drawn out thing.
So funeral and memorial service, what's the difference, honey?
It could be the same. I think funeral. Actually, I don't know. I have to Google. I don't know. Don't listen to me.
funeral이랑 memorial
But
service랑
they're
뭐가
used-
틀리냐고 자기도 모르겠어.
They are used interchangeably.
So, honey, what I know about the Western style of funeral, like through the movie, usually they go to, what is that tomb?
Cemetery.
Cemetery. And they like watching the body is buried, and then they go to their house, and they eat something.
I really like the movies, huh?
Why?
You're right. In the movies, that's always portrayed that. way. But
Is that right? 아니 영화에서 보면은 서양식 장례식은 그 이렇게 무덤에 이제 고인을 이렇게 묻는 거를 같이 옆에서 지켜보고 그리고 그 사람 집에 가서 약간 막 이런 파티는 아니지만 간소한 음식이랑 음료랑 해가지고는 같이 먹고 뭐 얘기하고 이런 식으로 영화에서는 그렇게 하는 것 같던데.
Yeah. So
Is that right?
typically it could be something like that or similar. Maybe they go to like a service hall, like a funeral home. Then they have the memorial service or funeral, same thing. They do it there for like from this time to this time. Maybe they'll go somewhere for reception, whether it's at someone's home or maybe at a dinner somewhere. Just to thank the people that came out.
이렇게 장례식장, funeral hall이 장례식장이 있어서 거기서 하고 리셉션을 뭐 그렇게 집에서 하기도 하고 아니면은 음식점을 빌려서 한다고 하네요. But one thing I was curious. So you like Korean funeral is interesting, right?
Very
For me, Western style funeral is interesting. Literally, they show the body.
Some places.
왜냐면 여러분
places,
영화 보면은 영화에 보면은 서양 장례식에서는 이렇게 사람 돌아가신 분 고인을 이렇게 잘 해가지고는 보이지 않나요?
So it depends on the religion, the culture. It's a little bit different. Some they might have open casket.
Open casket.
But sometimes, like even if they want to, they can't have open casket. Maybe depending how the person passed away. So
그렇죠.
maybe it's just picture or just
돌아가고
so it varies.
뭐 종교나 문화 아니면 이제 돌아가신 방법에 따라서 이렇게 관을 열어서 보여주기도 하고 안 보여주기도 하고 한다.
But in Korea,
we never do that.
No, of course not. You don't do that. But the family watches a family burn. Like that's crazy. Like so, okay. This is why I'm not a fan of the Korean funeral.
그러니까 제가 그 왜 돌아가신 분 고인 얼굴을 보여주냐 그랬더니 야 한국 스타일에서는 니네 그 뭐야 화장하는 거 다 가족들이 같이 보잖아.
Okay, so think about it. Who are the people most impacted by the loss of a loved one? Who?
Family.
Right? You ask the family for 3 days to welcome guests because guests are coming from all over, whatever, to do their bowing, say their goodbyes, eat, and then leave. I think that's actually not bad. But for 3 days, this family, whether mother, whoever, husband, wife, daughter, or son, they have to sit there for 3 days, and each time somebody comes, They're saying thank you. They're sharing their grief. They sit down. They eat. What are they doing? They're talking about their loved one. It's more grieving. For 3 days, it's grief, grief, grief. And they have to be there. Like, that's so painful.
저스틴 얘기하는 게 이제 한국식 장례식은 이제 3일 동안 거의 밤을 새가면서 이제 조문객이 오시면은 뭐 얘기하고 또 식사하고 뭐 옆에 앉아서 또 돌아가신 분 얘기하고 잠도 못 자고 3일 동안 하는 게 저스는 이거 너무 심한 게 아니냐, 너무 힘들지 않느냐.
And then,
사랑하는 사람이 잃어서 너무 힘든 가족들한테 너무 힘들지 않느냐.
So I understand, for the reason, and then what happens after that? Those 3 days.
근데 그 3일이 지나면 그 가족들은 뭘
So
하네요?
I'm not even talking about having to watch the family identify the body and it burns and they cremate. I'm not even talking about that. Right after those 3 days, they go back to work. Usually, most people don't take. So even companies.
그런가? 3일 후에 다시 직장 복귀를 하나요? 대부분 분들이?
I don't know, but at least through most policies, like HR policies I've seen, they take X amount of time off and they go back to work.
저씨 한국에서 HR에 일한 경험으로는 3일 있다가 다시 직장 복귀를 하는 걸로 알고 있대.
Think about it. When can you grieve? When can you just be with your family and get over it together, or be by yourself and get over it?
혼자 있거나 아니면 가족들이랑 이제 조용히 시간을 보내면서 사랑하는 분을 이제 보내드리는 그 마음을 정리하는 시간을 왜 주지 않냐. 근데 but in Korean culture, actually, the people visiting all over, right? That means they want to console them. Literally, they divert the tension.
Is it? Because every funeral I've been to, always the cause of the person's death comes out. The person is sharing how long they've been sick. They're sharing all these other. It doesn't seem like it's consoling them. It seems like it's like re-traumatizing over and over and over.
그러니까 제가 저스틴 얘기 한국 문화에서는 우리가 장례식장에 이렇게 조문 가고 그러는 게 너무 힘든 시기니까 가까운 사람들이 가가지고는 이제 위로도 해주고 너무 거기에 그 감정에 얽매이지 않도록 우리가 주의를 환기시키는 역할을 하는 것이다 했더니 그래? 가면은 그 돌아가신 분에 대해서 계속 얘기하면서 계속 제 트라우마를 주는 건 아니냐 막 이렇게 얘기해요.
The reason why I feel this way, I told you before, but when my mom was sick in the hospital and she almost died, every time, everywhere I went, because I was still doing many activities, volunteering and trying to work, every time, how's your mother? Is your mother okay? They're trying to console me, but every time it's like, it just hurts. And so after a while, I just don't want to go out because let me process. So I don't know. That's how I feel.
원장님이 안녕하세요. 맞아요. 직장마다 다르긴 하지만 바로 일상에 복귀해야만 해요. 원장님이 usually after funeral they have to get back to work.
Right? See, that's why when there's no sensitivity to the family.
근데 저스틴이 지금 얘기하는 게 뭐냐면 저스틴은 what that year? 2011,
2010? Maybe 10, 11?
2011년, 10년이었는데 저스틴의 어머님, 그러니까 저희 시어머님이 뇌동맥류 파열이 있었어요. 그래가지고 저희 돌아가실 뻔했거든요. 애뉴리즘. 저는 그때 저스틴이랑 같이 이제 만나기 전인데, 근데 어머니가 거의 돌아가실 뻔했으니까 중환자실에 계시고 막 그랬으니까. 근데 저스틴은 그때도 이제 일상생활 했는데 뭐 모임이나 어딜 가면 환자들이 옆에 친구들이 계속 어머님 어떠셔? 잘 지내셔? 괜찮아졌어 어머니? 근데 자기한테 그런 거 물을 때마다 자기는 그 상처가 다시 벌어지는 것 같은 느낌이었다. 그래서 나중에는 그렇게 모임하고 활동 안 했다고. 사람들이 자꾸 그렇게 물어보는 게 싫어서.
I think. Anyways, I think that part. I think actually that part I feel is cruel. I feel like it's cruel to the family.
너무 잔인한 것 같아요. 한국식.
Just let them process. I understand that people want to come see and say their goodbyes. So have one service. If they can't make it, it's okay.
하루로 줄여라. 하루의 행사로 줄여라.
But then the other interesting about
Korea. But a lot of people they cannot visit on one day.
Then it's okay.
못 오면 못 오는 대로.
Send a message to the family. But then the other thing I think, it's like, so weddings, sometimes it's about showing and kind of showing status and symbol and like, I get it, you know, people want to pay their respects, but all those things outside the door, like this bank, that university, it's almost like you can't help but like, wow, they have so many here. Who is that person? The, you know, the big,
flowers
and all that. It's almost like, it's kind of like a status telling to everybody too. Like, I don't know, it feels dirty. It feels like it's marketing. Like, why?
저스틴이
Yeah, why did Han just send money? Why did Han send us money? Yeah.
한님 왜 슈퍼챗을 보냈어요? 근데 한님이 This is our first super chat, honey.
Wow. Wait, is super chat when somebody sends money?
야.
Han, 왜?
왜 보냈어?
Here, give me your bank information. I'll send it back.
은행 계좌 불러내. 저스틴 다시 불러내봐. Honey, usually the YouTubers they do reaction.
To that?
They dance or something.
I'll send it back. Give me your bank information. You're a student. Don't send us money. Save your money. Come
학생이
on.
돈이 어딨어. 빨리.
Don't do that.
빨리 은행 계좌를 불러내.
I appreciate the sentiment. Right? It's so sweet.
마음을 감사하게 받겠다네요.
Okay, I'll buy you something nice.
슈퍼챗 첫 번째 기회를 뺏겼다.
Super chat. So what do we do? We're talking about funerals.
Okay, Han doesn't need to give a money at your funeral.
Actually, that's another thing. No, you give money in America too, though, because the idea is to help the family. To help
미국에서도 장례식 때 돈을 준다고 하네요.
Yeah, to help the family because they lost somebody, so you want to help them.
저는 미국에 있을 때 장례식은 안 가봤어요. 근데 제가 뭐가 있었냐면
Wait, is that why Han gave us money? Am I gonna die? Yeah, Han, am I gonna die? Is that why?
저스틴이 지금 그 조의금 준 거 아니냐고. 자기 장례식에 조의금 준 거 아니냐고. 아니 근데 저는 미국에 있을 때 한 번도 장례식은 안 가봤는데 so you know the Milwaukee when I was doing fellowship so you know I went to Columbia so there's a nurse she already retired but because she that volunteering job so like for a long time we went to Columbia together and years later when I was in Korea I got the email she passed away and then I write a message on a website 저는 Justin please don't leave 저는 미국에 있을 때 그 장례식을 간 기억은 없고 제가 미러키에서 펠로우십 할 때 같이 콜롬비아 봉사 갔던 때가 있었어. 근데 그 봉사를 너무 오래 다니신 분인데 그분은 이미 간호사분이셨는데 은퇴를 하신 상태였어요. 병원에서는 일을 안 하고 우리가 그때 콜롬비아 봉사 갔을 때만 같이 오셨었는데 제가 한국에 돌아와서 메일을 받았어요. 돌아가셨다고. 근데 이제 요즘에는 온라인으로 할 수가 있잖아요. 그래서 온라인으로 가서 이렇게 메시지를 남겼던 그 기억은 있습니다. I've never been to funeral. How many
Didn't
times?
you go? You remember when we were in Milwaukee that one woman passed away, the older woman? Didn't we go to a memorial service there at the community center? You don't remember?
I cannot remember, honey. 제가 갔었다고 하네요. 근데 기억이 안 나요.
But that was a very like American Western Buddhist type of ceremony. So was it even that like so if I die, we talked about this.
저스틴이 이제 여러분 그래서 저희가 저희가 이제 그때 장례식장에 다녀오선 이런 미국과 한국의 장례식의 차이에 대해서 얘기했었고 그 다음에 저희가 했던 얘기가 그럼 나 죽으면 이렇게 장례식 치러줘 이 얘기를 했었거든요.
So if I die, number one.
오케이 저스틴이 만약에 죽으면.
Oh, another important thing.
What?
So even though somebody passes away, they don't have the funeral or memorial service immediately. It might be a month. It might be like it might be a time when the family can all get together. They don't say, "Oh, we have to do it," but that's because of the shamanism or Confucianism root. I think
in Korea.
Right.
저스틴이 또 미국과 한국의 장례식의 차이가 뭐냐면 우리나라는 돌아가시면 바로 그날부터 3일장 이렇게 하잖아요. 근데 미국은 한 달 후에 할 수도 있고 뭐 몇 주 후에 할 수도 있고 그러니까 가족들이 이제 떨어져 살면은 그 가족들이 다 모일 시간을 두고 뭐 한 달 후에 몇 주 후에도 할 수 있다고 하네요.
So now, if I die, number one, I just want a very short. If I have a memorial service, if you plan something or a funeral, I just want like maybe a 2-3 hour thing, very short.
저스틴이 자기 죽으면은 일단 장례식을 2시간에서 3시간짜리 장례식 2시간에서 3시간만 하래요. 네.
No open casket. That might scare people.
관을 열지 말래. 사람들이 무서워할 것 같아.
It can already be my cremated body or cremated. It's okay.
So usually we do funeral and then cremate body. 저스틴이 관은 열지 말고 만약에 화장을 했으면 화장한 거 이렇게 항아리 담긴.
It's okay.
그것만 갖다 놓으래요.
And I want it to be fun.
자기는 재밌었으면 좋겠대. 장례식이.
I want there to be alcohol, food. I want
alcohol food. That's same with Korean funeral.
No. But
if you go to Korean funeral, there's a soju and 육개장.
Chang is okay.
저스틴이 배운 게 하나 뭐냐면은 한국 장례식에서는 짠 하면 안 된다는 걸 배웠어요.
I want people to chang,
짠해도
and
된대.
I want to bring together. I want you to invite people from all different aspects of my life. So, for example, you have like by time.
자기 여러 인생 면에서 사람을 초대하래요.
And they can just kind of have fun getting to know each other.
What aspect, honey?
What aspect?
So I can invite Chuck.
Yeah.
If Chuck is alive. 척이 만약에 살아있으면 척은 초대해야지.
Yeah. So people, all my small handful of friends in Korea.
많지 않은 한국에서의
That's
친구들.
just a simple group Kakao chat, like 5 people, no problem. My close friends, like from LA, you know some of them.
LA 친구들.
And
So they should come to Korea?
you can invite them. If they can't come, it's okay.
저스틴 LA에 사는 친구들 초대하래. 만약에 근데 안 와도 괜찮대.
That's a good point.
What?
So you should live stream it.
라이브 스트림 your funeral. 라이브 스트림을 하라네요. LA에 있는 친구들을 위해서.
Actually, maybe it's better because my parents, it's too hard for them to come.
부모님들
Just live
하와이에
stream.
계시니까 오시기 좀 힘들 것 같으니까 라이브 스트림 하는 거 괜찮은 것 같다.
And just people, I just want people to have a good time and meet each other. And if not, if it's too hard, you don't need anything. It's okay. We don't need any type of funeral or memorial. It's okay.
장례식 하는 게 너무 힘들면 하지 말래요.
Because I'm Buddhist, I believe I'll come back anyway. So
자기 불교 신자는 자기를 환생을 믿어서
I'll be
어차피
like, peace. I'll come back younger.
아니, I'll be back.
So it's okay. But
What about
you?
your body, honey?
I don't care. Burn it.
Burn and there's ash.
Is it in the ashtray? I don't have any romantic ideas. You can climb up a tree? No, I don't know. I don't know. What do you do with ash?
Pie? A tree? Give them tree?
Yeah.
There's a higher chance I will kill that tree. 화분에 주라고. 근데 화분은 제가 죽일 확률이 높기 때문에.
I think the biggest thing though, if I die, I just don't want my death to impose any problems or stress on other people. I just
만약에 자기가 죽으면은 그 죽음으로 인해서 막 불편을 야기하거나 사람들한테 뭐 부담을 주기가 싫다.
That's all. I don't want people to another funeral. Like I don't want that.
But honey, I think your family, like in Japan, Hawaii, probably they want to come to funeral.
Then send my ashes there, and then go to Hawaii. You can take a vacation.
Then I cannot have anything.
It's ashes. Divide it. You can like. It's just ashes, right? I don't know. I don't know. I haven't. I don't know about that. I don't like thinking about that.
Okay. 그러면은 이 질문을 해볼게요. What song do you want to play in your
Titanic.
funeral? My heart will go on.
That will make me happy. Just know wherever I
제가
am in
물어본
that
게
house.
장례식에서 노래 틀고 싶은 거 있냐는. Why that song?
I love that song.
What's the meaning of it?
Nothing. I just
무슨
really,
뜻이야?
I just
그
really like
타이틀.
that movie.
그래요?
You don't know that?
I know that song.
You never watched Titanic with me.
I never watched.
I asked you so many times.
타이타닉 같이 본 적은 없는데 타이타닉 노래를
Titanic is so
틀어달라.
great. What about you?
Me.
You want traditional Korean funeral? Like, are you gonna make me stay up for 3 days while all your relatives come and have to say goodbye over and over and have to tell everybody what happened over and over and have the interpreter interpret for me?
유랑님 안녕하세요. 유랑님이 it's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. 죄송합니다. 저희 오늘 지금 저희 장례식을 어떻게 치를지 각자의 장례식을 어떻게 치를지에 대해 얘기하고 있습니다. 오월냥이님이 저는 수목장을 하고 싶다는 생각을 했는데 매번 조금씩 생장이 달라지는 하는 것 같아요. 유언장 쓸 때 진짜 고민할 때 오월냥이 she wanted to do the literally I think 수목장이 그거죠? 그 나무에게 주는 거 맞죠? 아닌가요? 제가 잘 몰라요.
What is that?
Probably give it to a tree. But every time my thought is changed. It's hard to. She said, I think it's gonna really hard to write a will. Will, honey. What about will?
I don't have anything.
Who can have your restaurant?
My small percentage of it? At that point, if I'm dead, I think Chuck will just pretend I didn't exist.
애쉬블루님 안녕하세요. 오랜만입니다. 맞아요, 오한양님. 근데 그 나무를 잘 키울 수 있는 사람한테 맡기십시오. 저희 저스틴은 수목장은 못할 것 같아요. 제가 식물을 잘 키우는 사람이 아니라서 제가 저스틴한테 그러면은 유언장 쓰면은 레스토랑을 누가 갔냐고 하니까 아마 그냥 척이 먹을 것 같아요.
That's what because I don't think I have anything any value. Like my student loans will die with me. That's the plus.
자기 학자금 대출은 자기가 죽으면 없어지니까. 그럼 그렇고.
Right?
Nothing, honey. That's so sad.
I don't.
You should
You're
read.
my most valuable thing. I can't give you to anybody. You want my computer?
Your computer?
It's old.
I don't need your computer. honey, so computer is the only thing you can love?
Well, I mean, I use it a lot, so I figure. What do I have that's like sentimental? My ring. This is the most important thing. Look, I wear it so much. I have 10 line.
반지.
Well, what about you? What are you gonna leave behind?
유랑님이 예전에 팝콘 메뉴 개발하신다고 얘기 나눴었는데 유랑 said, didn't you try to invent a popcorn menu for the restaurant?
Yeah, it never happened.
접었대요. 그 생각을.
Yeah, that's welcome to restaurant life.
그냥 아이디어만 이렇게 나눴습니다.
And I tested so many popcorns, right?
근데 그거 했을 때 저스틴이 맨날 팝콘 만들었었어요, 집에서. 근데 그 팝콘 만들어서 뭐 초콜릿 씌웠다가
I did a green tea.
녹차 말차 가루 씌웠다가
Sprinkle, rainbow sprinkle.
하얀 초콜릿, 화이트 초콜릿 씌웠다가 그거 해고 뭐 저만 살쪘죠, 뭐 그거 먹느라.
But actually, it was because Ian decided he didn't want to use that space, right?
그랬어?
It's okay. Sorry.
팝콘은 물 건너갔습니다. 그래요.
So what about you?
Mine? I don't know. What should I do?
But I guess because you're Korean, you should have traditional Korean, right?
No, honey. But usually 그런 좀 젊은 나이에 죽으면 좀 간소하게 하지 않나요? I think people, if they die in early age, they don't do full service.
You don't think so? I bet your parents, though, they would want to do that.
젊은 나이에 돌아가시면은 막 3일장 하고 그러지 않지 않나요?
I don't know.
I just wanna disappear quietly. 조용히 사라지는 게 좋을 것 같은데.
What do you want to leave behind to who?
Leave behind first my cat.
Our cats?
Our cat. You can take care of my cat.
I already do. What are you talking about?
일단 고양이 세 마리는 저스틴에게 남겨놔야겠습니다.
Okay, what else?
And What else?
I don't want the bookshelf.
Bookshelf? Oh, bookshelf.
I don't want it. I don't want the
진짜?
cactus. I don't want
진짜?
the
You don't want cactus?
No.
선인장 안 바른대.
Look how big it is. It's so heavy. I can't. It's so hard to move outside. What's that should be important. What do you want to give or have me hold or take care of? Exactly, right?
아니야.
What?
아, 근데 생각나는 게 있어요. 근데 사실은 저희가 저번에 그 얘기 했을 때 제일 먼저 드는 생각이 뭐냐면 What should I do with my patient?
That's actually you talked about that before too, right? If anything
저는
ever
사실
happened.
그때 처음 드는 생각이 뭐냐면 그럼 내가 수술했던 환자들을 어떻게 해야 되지?
So
누구한테 보내야 되지?
the only solution is you need to train.
응.
You need to train other doctors so they can take care of the patients that you're working with now and in the
후학을
future.
길러야 되는 이유입니다.
So you need to create a legacy.
근데 제가 이제 그때는 저스틴한테 그렇게 얘기했어요. 우리 과장님한테 보내는 게 제일 맞지 않을까. 저희 과장님이 좋은 의사시거든요. 좋은 의사셔서 과장님한테 보내는 게 맞지 않을까 했는데 과장님이 좋은 의사인데 이거 잘 얘기해야 되는데 He's a good doctor.
Who?
닥터 장.
Dr. Chang?
I think I need to send my patient to Dr. Chang.
Dr. Chang, the issue isn't his surgery skills. He's a skilled
수술은
doctor.
너무 잘하시는데 제가 얘기하는 게 뭐냐, good doctor, but not good person.
Not
Nice, not a nice
not a warm person.
그래 따뜻한 분은 아니셔. 따뜻한 분은 아니셔가지고는 아이고.
So you need to train
라이브
like,
지워야 되는 거 아닌가 모르겠어.
So actually, you know what you need, and this is a perfect channel. So maybe maybe the next 10 minutes you should pitch why people or other doctors should be interested in supporting the LGBT community or
Why?
LGBT plastic surgeon or LGBT like internal medicine or because if they watch this, maybe they'll say, I want to take up that cause too. Because you need actually the Korea needs more doctors, at least in the medical community, that want to support and will openly support.
But not all my patient is LGBT. There's a non-LGBT.
But the
patient.
non-LGBT patients, no problem, right? Like you can send them to
그래 맞아.
Dr.
만약에
Go,
그렇지.
yeah.
미용 환자분들은 이제 제가 친한 가슴 성형하시는 원장님들 있으니까 원장님들한테 가면 되는데 약간 성소수자 환자분들은 수술이 너무 드물고 하시는 분들이 적으니까 어느 분한테 맡겨야 될지 좀 고민이 되네요.
That's hard. If I died, I don't think Chuck could run the restaurants without me.
자기 죽으면 척이 혼자 레스토랑 못할 것 같아.
I mean, vice versa. If he died, I think I'd be in trouble too, right?
척이 돌아가셔도 저스틴은 혼자 못하고.
I don't know. I don't have a replacement for me. What should we do? Anyways, it's good.
Anyway, my money you can take it. 돈은 내가 저스틴한테 다 줘야지. Money and cat.
Money and cat? You can have my money.
You don't
Honey,
어?
I have my retirement account.
그래 맞아. 퇴직금이 있지.
That's right.
그래. Can I have it?
If I die.
What about yours, honey?
Okay, you can't have it. I'm gonna give it to my brother.
Okay. You can give it to your brother.
That's all I have.
야, 그러니까 honey, interesting is we are thinking, what if we die? Actually, we don't have many things, right? 이렇게 죽는다고 생각하니까 사실 뭐 물려줄 것도 그다지 없고 그러네요. 가지고 있는 게 별로 없네요.
Yeah. I think one of the plus and minuses, right? We don't... But okay, wait, actually, maybe the other way you should be thinking about it is if you were to die or if I were to die, who does it impact and how does it impact them? So you said your patients, right? But what about your parents? What about
My parents,
yourself?
I think 우리 부모님은 괜찮으실 거예요. 물론
You think
가슴이
they're gonna be okay?
어!
Your mom already every time when there's nothing to cry about, she cries.
저희 어머니 이렇게 감성적이시라 잘 우신다고 맨날 저스틴이 울지 말라고 막 우리 엄마한테 되게 소녀 같으시거든요. 근데
Maybe she's watching, honey.
근데 but I think yes, of course, they're really sad. But I think they will live well. 잘 지내실 거야. 물론 막 가슴이 아프시겠지만. Don't you think so?
I mean,
Don't you think about your parents like that?
I never have really thought about that, but but they'll be okay. Yeah, I mean everybody will be fine. But that's the thing. We don't know really, right? How it'll be impacted. Oh, what?
Who's that?
What? Wait! This is so flattering, but why? Juku.
왜 돈을 보내?
다이어리? Huh?
Juku diary.
Oh. Super
Super
but there's no notes.
Finally, they have a super chat. I really like it.
Oh. What do you mean? We didn't have super chat before?
Yes, I think recently.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, why?
So that means before. Oh,
Why?
honey,
Why?
dance.
너무 춤추래.
Let's see what other super chat we can do. I'm just kidding. Thank you so much for that. Please, thank you so much. But please, no, you don't have to do that.
맞아, 안 보여드려요.
Don't do that. Save your money. Save your money and you can give it to my funeral.
나중에 장례식에 오실 때 달라고.
I don't know. But we haven't really thought. So because we don't have kids,
그렇죠.
right? We don't have a house.
애가 없는 게 약간 영향이 있는 것 같아요.
Right? We don't have a house, right?
애가 있으면 좀 죽는 거에 대해서 she really waiting for like we have a super chat function.
But we're supposed to do something.
저스틴이 불편해하고 있어. 뭘 리액션을 뭐 해줘야 되나?
Really?
So usually they have a reaction.
Like what do you mean? Like a set reaction when they get it, they do like.
제 인생 두 번째. This is my second super chat.
Wow. Who's number one? Just kidding. Thank you so much.
Thank you. 감사합니다.
Anyways, we'll have to figure it out. Like, so another thing is like, so in America, you always have the coffin. But I think sometimes even if they have the coffin at the memorial service, there's no body. It's just more representation. So, yeah, I don't want that.
What do you mean?
Because when you have a memorial service, so that's why if they have open casket, then you can see the body. But sometimes they keep it closed. And sometimes there's no body in there, maybe because it's cremated. But the significance of having the coffin kind of feels like the person is there.
그러니까 그 서양식 그 장례식에서 이렇게 우리가 영화에서 보면 막 이렇게 관 열어가지고 이제 고인의 얼굴을 볼 수 있게 하잖아요. 뭐 그런 경우도 있는데 뭐 오래 지나서 하는 경우도 있기 때문에 이제 화장해가지고 이렇게 그거만 입고 그냥 관 뚜껑 닫아놓는 경우도 있고.
You know what's interesting? I just realized. So in America, weddings and funerals, similar timeline. It's like, you know, whatever time you go to the ceremony, you have meal afterwards, you eat with everybody, kind of celebration. Funeral, kind of similar, but a little bit darker. You know, you have the program, people go out, they meet, they eat together and, you know, share. It's a little bit more solemn. In Korea, wedding is 2 hours. Funeral?
결혼식은 이 2시간 그러니까 서양식은 결혼식이랑 장례식이랑 시간이 거의 비슷한데 근데 왜 한국은 결혼식은 2시간밖에 안 하고 장례식은 3일하지?
But wedding is 2-3 hours. Funeral is 3 days. This wedding for 3 hours. Still, they try to get everybody there within that 3 hours. So people are able to come for an important occasion.
But it's a
planned date. So why not plan the funeral? Why does
How?
it? My point is, it doesn't
Before
have.
you're that.
Oh my gosh.
Why?
Because
Why?
what if you don't die on time?
It doesn't matter. 그거 되게 좋은 아이디어예요. 지금 저스틴이 뭐라고 하냐면 한국은 왜 결혼식은 2시간, 3시간, 2시간도 안 하죠. 뭐 2시간 그거밖에 안 하면서 왜 장례식은 3일 하냐? 사람들이 다 한꺼번에 1시간에 모일 수 없어서 3일 한다고? 그럼 결혼식은 어떻게 다 그날 다 모여? 그래서 결혼식은 딱 날짜를 정해가지고 이날 우리 할 거예요. 이렇게 하니까 그렇지 그랬더니
But that's why I told you in America they don't have the funeral right after somebody dies.
그래서
So
이제 저스틴이 얘기하는 게 서양에서는 장례식을 그날 돌아가신 날 무조건 해야 된다고 그렇게 하지 않고 뭐 한 달이나 몇 주 있다가 가족들이 다 모일 수 있는 시간에 한다는 거죠. But actually that's a good idea. 근데 저는 생각하는 게 뭐냐면 그러면은 장례식을 미리 하는 거예요. 죽기 전에.
But it's against Confucius ideas, right? Right?
근데 I think it's good for like literally you give opportunity. So like we're talking about the funeral. We're talking about what do we have in my life? What are you gonna do? Other people how they gonna like live without me? 그러니까 제가 생각하는 거는 지금 저희가 이렇게 저희 장례식 얘기를 하면서 내가 지금 이 인생에서 가지고 있는 게 뭐고 남겨질 수 있는 건 뭐고 내가 없으면 사람들은 어떻게 살까 이런 생각들을 하잖아요. 그러니까 어떻게 생각하면은 장례식을 미리 하는 게 그런 거를 생각해 볼 수 있는 기회를 주는 거예요.
Can you imagine
What?
if Korea transitioned to like having funerals, kind of like how they have weddings? Maybe somebody passes away. They book maybe 2 or 3 weeks later. They can use the same halls basically or different floors, right? All the food, everything is there. All the setup is there. But I bet you it would never happen, and I know why.
Why?
Because economically, the hospitals make so much money from funeral services.
저스틴이 만약에 한국에서도 서양식처럼 장례식이 그렇게 바로 돌아가시고 나서부터 무조건 그날부터 3일 이렇게 하는 게 아니라 뭐 만약에 메모리얼 서비스처럼 어느 날 우리 이분 돌아가신 분을 기념하는 모임을 가질 거예요 이렇게 하면은 사실 결혼식장 같은 공간을 써도 되는 거 아니냐. 거기 음식도 있고 리셉션 할 수 있는 자리도 있고. 저스틴이 그렇게는 안 될 것 같대. 왜냐하면 병원이 장례식장으로 돈을 너무 많이 벌어서.
Maybe it's a conspiracy. Maybe it could change, but they don't want it to change because
그렇게 바꿀 수 있는데
industry.
너무 이 경제 구조가 너무 그쪽에 짜여져 있기 때문에.
Think about it. What is it? Tada. The guy's in jail right now. Uber.
Tada?
The CEO.
Why?
Because he was breaking whatever policies or laws, or because the taxi union was so angry. There's so many innovative ways of doing things, but because it impacts some big industry, it doesn't happen.
저스틴이 한국은 약간 훨씬 더 효율적으로 뭔가 될 수 있는 일들이 있는데 너무 지금 현재 주도권을 그 시장의 주도권을 가지고 있는 사람들 때문에 더 효율적이고 더 나은 방법이 현실화되지 않고 있는 것 같아요. 한국에서. Maybe.
But to be clear, not just in Korea, everywhere in the world is the
Not
same
in
thing.
Korea. Just not only in
Not
Korea.
only, but everywhere in the
한국만
world.
그런 것도 아니고 다른 세계에서도 그런 일들이 일어난다. 그렇게 얘기하는데. Anyway.
You want to change it?
What?
So when I die, I want an event.
I can plan a party, honey.
I want it at a wedding hall.
Not wedding hall. Let's do in a yacht. let's
And then you can put my ash.
Let's rent a boat in Han River. I think it's good for your foreign friend.
Then?
외국인 친구들 오면 좀 관광도 되게 저기 한강 유람선 이런 데
Then I want it to be a potluck.
potluck? potluck을 하고 싶네네.
That way, none of my friends that work in a restaurant have to cook or work it. I want them to be able to just attend.
저스틴이 자기 친구들 레스토랑 하는 친구들 많으니까 거기서 음식 하나씩 가져오면 된대요.
They should be able to relax and enjoy.
Okay.
Oh,
You can read it?
That's so true. It costs so much money to go through a funeral in Korea because it takes place over multiple days, and sometimes the bereaved family has to rent rooms at the hospital facilities. It's a huge money-making industry.
맞아요.
And I bet you most of the money they receive from people goes just to pay it off. I bet. But it's okay because a company, if they work for a company, they give them, I thought this is so sad.
What?
They give them all the paper cups for all the drinks or the utensils. They like literally, the companies provide that sometimes as like, if somebody, like say you're working for me, if you pass away, I have a company where part of like you take time off, and also how we support you is we supply all the like utensils and cups and all that for your funeral. That's part of their support. Isn't that weird? Does that make sense? Oh, look it up. Anyways.
김경건님.
Hi, Kim Kyung-gun. Hey, Doyeon. Hey, Doyeon, by the way. So Doyeon sent me a really very like cynical, funny text. Or he responded with a very cynical, kind of funny message on my Instagram post. But that was when we were at the jazz festival. And we were.
저씨 나한테 와서 결이야 이거 봐봐 이거 무슨 일 있는 건가 나한테 뭐라고.
And his English was perfect, but my comprehension was bad. So I worried.
아니 그러니까 한마디로 저씨 농담을 못 알아들은 거지.
So Doyeon, I'm so sorry. 죄송합니다. 미안해요. I'm so sorry. I would bow, but you can't see me.
그래요.
So no conclusion on how we what we would wanna do if.
So
we
you
pass
wanna
away.
do the planned funeral, so I can invite your friend from the Hawaii.
But that's the thing. I
Japan.
don't want to invite them. It's too much trouble to fly here.
Oh, okay, live stream.
Live stream.
라이브 스트림. 여러분 어느 날 썸네일 저스틴 형이 썸네일 your face black and white. 왜 웃어 이런 걸로?
That's okay.
okay.
That's okay.
Plan. Start within like.
Like 5
Is
minutes,
that okay?
4 minutes. That's okay. And then I don't think many people will come here from Korea because I don't know too many people anyway.
But they're gonna watch live stream.
So you should just do it at the house.
And maybe
This is gonna be the backdrop.
and they can send money through super chat.
No, they don't need to send money. That's the other thing. I don't.
Don't take money.
Don't take money. Don't take
무조건
money.
받지 말래. 나 이거 장례식 때.
Don't take money.
도현님이 하하 no that was my
What?
bad relation. No, I'm just really glad you and Dr. Kim got to take some time off.
No, and again, I apologize. It was my not sober self reading the message. Thank you so much, Diane.
감사합니다.
Anyways, it's already 11. We should wrap up. I feel so bad. I don't know if anybody can make a video out of this content today.
Why? I think it's meaningful. It doesn't need to be always funny and yeah.
We're talking about death and we're laughing.
Why? Why we cannot laugh about that?
So if I died, you would laugh?
Not immediately. 바로는 웃지 않겠지만, 아니 저씨 왜냐면, 이거 내가 항상 라이브 한다고 항상 웃기고 그럴 필요는 없잖아요. 오늘 한 이야기 되게 의미가 있는 것 같은데, 저씨 그럼 나 죽으면 너 웃을 거야. 그래서 바로는 안 웃겠지만, maybe long time later, I'm gonna smile.
At my death?
He was a perfect guy. He was a perfect husband for me.
Oh, you mean it'll warm your heart?
Yeah.
So, honey, if I die, you can date again. I give you permission.
진짜로?
You can get married again. Okay?
저스틴 죽으면 재혼해도 된다 그랬네요.
Okay, you can say the same to me now.
No. If I die, you cannot get married. You want to get married?
Maybe. What if I want to? You're telling me I shouldn't find companionship if you die?
Okay, not within 2 years.
I have to wait 2 years?
You can wait.
What if... But I'm so lonely. My heart's so sad.
You have 3 cats.
I have 3 cats. I have to clean their poo and feed them and change the water every day. So
Honey,
much work.
Anyway, you are busy, honey. Think about it.
2 years.
No?
Okay.
2 years.
Honey, when I die or if I die, it's 1 week. It's okay.
1 week?
After that, if you find somebody to fill your... Okay. What do you think?
도윤이, can he date if you die, Dr. Kim? I give him 2 years.
2 years. Okay. I'll never date. Don't worry. Anybody. But I have 2 years just in case.
But honey, you should keep the cat.
Of course.
Don't
Of course, honey. This isn't your cat. This is our cat. Look. Nick.
Justin can date his pineapple.
I don't.
What is that?
Just
What does that mean, honey?
because Pineapple Express work.
Pineapple date with Pineapple Express. 그러네요.
2 years.
아니야, 근데 2년이라고 얘기했지만 actually, honestly, I don't want you to get married again.
Oh, really?
Just live by yourself. It's okay.
What difference does it make? You're dead.
Single life is better, honey. Why do you want to get married again?
I don't know. I don't know if I would want to. But the point is, I would want you to be able to feel the freedom that you can live your life. That you don't have to feel guilty like that Justin is saying, why are you doing this? How are you talking to him? I want you to be happy. And I would hope that you want the same for me. No? It's too late. We're already married.
Okay.
Conditions are already there.
That's actually quite generous under Confucianism. You are supposed to mourn your
Parents
parents
for
for
3
3
years.
years.
But I think, so Doyen, to your point and to the point that we were talking about earlier, when you cram 3 days of funeral service, having to meet people nonstop for literally 72 hours, I think that's probably cramming in 3 years of pain for your lost loved one. So
아마도
I don't like that.
저희가 최근에 다녀온 그 조문 다녀온 때 저희 친구분이 따님이었는데 아버님이 돌아가신 거였거든요. 너무 힘들어해서 아마 저스틴이 같이 그 공감을 너무 심하게 느낀 것 같아요. 공감을 격하게 느낀 것 같아요. 너무 힘들어하시니까 그걸 같이 느꼈던 것 같아요.
I think it's cruel. That's how I honestly feel. I feel the Korean system, the way I think it's cruel. And for Koreans who are like, no, we don't believe in shamanism anymore, or Confucianism, no. It's kind of funny how some things are people still
이제
practice.
우리가 유교나 아니면은 뭐 샤머니즘이라고 생각하지 않았던 거가 한국 사회에 이제 조금씩 다 들어있긴 하죠.
And I'm sorry. I hope I don't offend anybody. I'm really sorry if I do. every time I go to the funerals, I feel like it's so.
You feel sorry about the family.
because
너무 가족이 안 된 것 같이 느꼈대. 저스틴은 한국식 장례식을 가면은 가족들이 너무 피곤한데 그 3일 동안 잠도 못 자고 막 오시는 조문객들 맞이하고 같이 앉아서 얘기하고 이런 게 저스틴은 너무 그게 안 돼 보였나 봐요. Absolutely agree with the point you just made.
Dolian, you're too westernized. It's okay. I'm sure some Korean people, if they watch this, they'll be like, 바보 미국 사람. He doesn't understand the importance. I just think it's so painful. Isn't there a more compassionate way, like a more thoughtful way that it could be done? Like, I don't know. But Confucius also said, what is it about parents? Like, so you're supposed to mourn them for 3 years, but even you're supposed to, like, always, they're number one, right? In your life? I don't know.
잘 모릅니다.
There's a reason why Confucius isn't alive anymore.
Anyway, we were talking about the funeral, honey.
Sorry.
What do you think?
About what? Korea's funeral system? It's all Korea has for the time being, but I hope it changes. I don't know. I mean, but it's kind of like some things, right? The military in Korea. Like, I'm so used to saying, oh, thank you so much for your service. But then I would have to say to every man, thank you so much. And then most people, when they talk about the military in Korea, the guys, they don't want to talk about it. Like, it's nothing to be proud of because I guess they're being forced to
한국이랑
do it.
미국이랑 다른 점들이 있죠.
So I don't know. But different culture, I need to just shut up. 시끄러워, Justin.
You don't
시끄러워.
need to shut up. 오케이, 여러분 오늘 벌써 11시 14분이네요. 오늘 라이브에도 와주셔서 감사하고 오늘 so we made a money, honey. What?
You know what we haven't done?
What?
How much do you weigh?
No, honey, don't do it. 지금 뭐 몸무게를 재겠다고 지금. Don't do it, honey.
Why? You should.
No, I don't want to do it.
What?
도윤님이
What?
also very true, but going through my grandmother's funeral in Korea was like a getting open and over in front of a bunch of practical strangers. 도윤님 완전 저스틴이랑 똑같이 생각하고 계시네요.
I think I gained weight.
여러분, 저스틴 살이 쪘답니다.
83.
저도 찐 것 같아요. 저희는 어떻게 할까요? 다음 주, 그 다음 주 촬영인데 큰일 났다. Hardcore dieting.
When?
From start tomorrow. 내일부터 시작이야.
We have a recording next week, right?
Next week.
No, next
Oh
week.
yeah, next week.
Not this coming week, but next.
Yeah. 그래요, 여러분. 일요일 저녁입니다. 근데 내일이 휴일이죠. Tomorrow is holiday, honey.
I'm gonna be working.
저스틴은 일할 거래요.
I'll be at Cali Kitchen.
캘리 키친에 있을 거래요,
If
저스틴.
anybody wants to come down, we have our new burger of the month, the burrata burger.
Burrata. It was burger of the month before.
But actually, a lot of people asked for that.
저 캘리 키친에서 burger of month. 매달 새로운 버거 메뉴가 하나씩 추가되고 그거 빼고 새로운 버거 추가하고 이렇게 하는데 브루타 버거.
Burrata.
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 Burrata
It's
cheese.
a cheese. Burrata cheese로 만든
So it's
버거가
coming
이거는.
fresh, never frozen, imported. We only have like a 2-week span to use it. And then it's with pesto, fresh tomatoes, salted, like everything. Because tomato season is good. Right now it's in season.
토마토가 요즘에 맛있다네요. 토마토 시즌이에요.
Burrata, like burger, burrata, tomato, pesto sauce.
페스토 소스랑 브라타 치즈랑.
So we have literally like every Tuesday, Thursday, we have this group of people that are all from France. That come.
France?
Yeah, they're like some of them are mixed. They all speak French. Some people are like Korean, but they lived in France. Some people they're French, but they work in Korea. But they always gather. But they love that burger.
아 진짜로?
So,
프랑스에서 오신 분들 모임이 있는데 캘리어 오면은 그 브라타 버거를 항상 시키신대요.
So
너무 좋아하신대요.
Every time they come, they always ask for it. But the thing is, because it's seasonal, even that cheese is kind of seasonal.
아
everything.
치즈랑 토마토가 좋을 때만 그걸 하는구나.
So, but they were there Tuesday. Apparently, like they ordered, like everybody ordered around. Then I think half of them ordered another to take home because we can't do that often. So they basically went through our supply for the week of burrata cheese.
진짜로? 그 모임에서 오셔가지고는 하나씩 시키고 하나씩 포장해 가가지고는 그랬대네요.
So I'll be there.
오월냥이님이 저도요 저스틴 얘기에 너무 공감이 갔어요. 그래도 건강하게 한 주 잘 지내요. She agree with your thought too. 도현이 always so impressed by the sheer level of quality and care that goes into your food.
Oh, Doyun, Chuck would be so happy to hear that.
오월냥이 완전 꿀조합이죠. 그렇습니다. 감사합니다 여러분.
Thank you so much, everyone. But are we gonna be on next week? Because you're leaving soon.
I know.
We're leaving
여러분 어디
7,
봅시다.
12. We only have 3 more.
지금 12일, 19일
And then
라이브 할 수 있고 아마
24일.
26일에는 저희가 벨기에에서
So you can't even.
Probably we're gonna do the live in Belgium. 26일 우리가 3주 있다가 26일에는 벨기에에서 라이브를 할 수 있겠네요.
I'm gonna be so tired.
여러분 그리고 제가 볼 때 벨기에에서는 아마 제가 엄마랑 라이브를 같이 할 가능성이 있어요.
Oh, that's right. So you're gonna have an all Korean live, no English. So if there's any English speakers watching, you don't have to tune in because it's only gonna be in Korean.
저희 저희 어머니가 저희 라이브를 보세요. 저희 라이브를 보는데 제가 지난주 라이브에 그 길쭉이 호떡을 먹었거든요. 그래서 엄마랑 전화하는데 엄마가 결이야 길쭉이 호떡 나도 시켰어. 그거 너 맛있게 먹더라.
What did she say?
She ordered the 호떡.
Yeah.
그러면서 저한테 근데 제가 볼 때 벨기에에서 엄마가 아마 라이브를 같이 하지 않을까. 엄마가 저한테 그러시더라고요. 결이야 너 벨기에 가서도 라이브 할 거니? 하시더라고요. 약간 나도 같이 해야 되는 거 아니니? 막 이런 막 I think she wanted
She wants to
to.
do. She's excited. I know. She's excited.
여러분 재밌을 것 같아요.
So please have fun with Kyori and her mom for 3 months. No Justin. Or
No, honey. Sometimes we're gonna do the Zoom, honey.
Do you know how hard that's gonna be?
No, it's not hard. It's hard.
Time-wise, it's gonna be so hard.
그래?
Right? Because what
Let's
time
do
is it in
time zone
Belgium?
computer. Time zone computer.
It's 4:20 p.m. in Brussels, Belgium.
4:20
PM which day?
Sunday.
Sunday. 그러면
That
Sunday.
means it would be my
아무.
3 p.m.
이 시간이 이
Your
시간
3 p.m. Your 3 p.m.
Yeah.
11 p.m.
오케이. 그러니까 지금 한국 시간으로 일요일 10시에 라이브를 하면은 벨기에 일요일 3시래요. 너무 할 수 있지 않아?
You don't think you're gonna be busy Sunday at like 3 o'clock? Or Sunday at 2 o'clock, 2 p.m.? Aren't you gonna be traveling Europe? Actually,
그러면-
you can do live though on your phone.
Yeah.
You have enough subscribers. You
Yeah.
can just be like, 여러분 안녕하세요.
뭐 벨기에가 아니라도 뭐 유럽을 여행하고 있으면 어느 나라에서든지 뭐 할 수 있죠 뭐.
Just need good earphones, Bluetooth earphones.
도윤님이 we love to meet your mom. 리즈님이 교수님 안녕하세요. 종종 라이브 보는데 의대생입니다. 너무 멋지고 존경해요. 뜬금없이 교수님 한국 미국이랑 한국에서 둘 다 수련해서 알고 있는데 언어적 제약이 크지 않고 같은 과를 한다는 가정하에 한국 의대 졸업 후 미국에서 수련 받은 것을 어떻게 생각하냐? So Liz, he or she is a medical student. So I heard you train in America and Korea. What do you think about graduating medical school in Korea and training in America?
You mean so? She should clarify because graduating medical school in Korea, to be able to do training in America, you have to do the
ECFMG.
right and the 3 tests, 2 tests,
4 tests actually.
4 tests, and then on top of that, you have to actually apply for residency,
Yes.
right? And then to get accepted into residency, depending on what specialty, it's not easy, but if you can do it, I think that's great.
저스틴 이미 다 알고 있어. 지금 리즈님 일단은 저스틴이 질문이
Just tell
너무
from your experience. You don't have to translate.
질문이 너무 이제 스페시픽하지 않다라고 얘기를 하는데 한국 의대에서 졸업 후 미국에서 수련 받는 것. 한국 의대 졸업한다고 미국에서 바로 수련 받을 수 없죠. ECFMG라고 해서 미국 국가 의사고시도 봐야 되고 그리고 레지던트로 뭐 인턴십도 해야 되고 레지던트로 매칭되려면 되게 아시겠지만 ECFMG 점수도 중요하지만 어쩌버십도 해야 되고 또 레커멘데이션 레터도 받아야 되고 그러려면 이제 인맥도 쌓아야 되고 하는 거기 때문에 근데 저는 좋다고 생각해요. 한국 의대 졸업 후 미국에서 수련 받는 거 좋다고 생각해요. 그래서 이제 미국에서 의사 생활하시게 되는 거죠. 근데 만약에 그렇게 되려면 중간에 갭이 없이 바로 갈 수 있으려면 당연히 의대 졸업하거나 아니면 의대 다니면서 ECFMG 보시는 거고 업저버십도 가셔야 되고 인맥도 쌓으셔야 되고 국어를 같이 해야 중간에 붕 뜨는 시간 없이 바로 가실 수 있겠죠? 글쎄 그런 거를 여쭤보시는 건지 아니면 한국에서 의사생활, 미국에서 의사생활 그 차이를 말씀하시는 건지. So maybe he or she is asking what do you think which one is the best? Living as a doctor in Korea or in America? What do you think?
Well, it depends. A lot of the doctors that I've seen in Korea, they literally just work 9 to 5 and they don't work very hard. So maybe if you want that kind of life, maybe it's not bad. And maybe if you work at a big hospital or like the big 3, maybe those 8 hours that you're working intense because there's so many patients. Maybe if you're doing your specialty and I bet you the plastic surgeons in those hospitals are busier because they're doing bigger operations maybe, right?
In general hospital? In America?
No, in Korea. Like at the big 3 schools.
Oh, sure.
But that's not necessarily the case in like the non-big 3 schools. So, but in America, I think maybe it's going to be a little bit harder. So it depends on your specialty.
저스틴이 미국에서 의사 생활한 거 한국의 의사 생활 전문과에 따라 틀리다. What do you think about the pay?
Pay is a lot better in America.
미국 의사가 훨씬 돈을 많이 벌 수 있습니다.
Well, for sure. But I think again the work is probably more in America too.
I don't know. So,
But honey, I've seen your other doctor peers, like not plastic surgeons for the most part, but it's like literally it seems like a 9 to 5.
but during the time they had to see a lot of patients. But US is not like that.
Yes, but not to the same degree.
What do you mean?
So depending on the hospital, if they have like HMO insurance plan tied to them, everybody gets sent to them because it's cheaper.
Okay.
Like it depends.
그럼 전문과에 다르다는 게 맞겠네요. 근데 여러분, 제가 사실은 되게 재미있는 얘기를 들었어요. Actually, you remember the talk with Minjung? If you can do the gender confirming surgery, all the hospital in US they want to hire you.
Right now, we don't
지금.
know. We don't know like 5-10 years from now.
지금 여러분 어떤
I'm gonna
상황이냐면
eat this.
미국에서 성악정 수술이 예전에는 줄을 건너서 환자들이 다녔어요. 그러니까 내가 2주에 살고 있는데 2주에 성악정 수술하는 의사가 없어. 그러면 다른 주로 가서 수술을 받았거든요. 지금 너무나 이 젠더 컨퍼밍 서비스 성악정 수술 영역이 너무 발달했고 그래서 그 주에 큰 병원이면 이 그 젠더 케어, LGBTQ 케어를 헬스 케어를 해야 되는 게 당연한 거야. 근데 이거를 할 수 있는 의사는 별로 없는 거죠. 왜냐면 이제 막 발달하는 분야이기 때문에. 그래서 제 미국에 있는 친구가 뭐라 그러냐면 결이야 너 지금 미국 오고 싶으면 지금 너 무조건 병원들이 지금 다 젠더 컨퍼밍 수술할 수 있는 사람 다 고용하고 있어. 근데 얘기하는 게 뭐냐면 지금 미국이 어떤 상황이냐면 젠더 컨퍼밍 할 수 있는 서전이 외과 의사 별로 없으니까 어떻게 되냐면 젠더 컨퍼밍 펠로우십을 들어가면 펠로우십이 뭐 1년 후에 펠로우십 끝나고 나오는 거잖아요. 펠로우십이 되면 거기 펠로우십 붙으면 그때 병원에서 하이어링 한대요. 1년 후에 우리 병원으로 오라고.
So actually, so regardless of the specialty, if you're Korean and you want to either do residency in America or if you want to do fellowship in how did you get the fellowship in Harvard?
Why?
You just applied? That's
Yes.
it? Nothing else? Why do you think you got it?
I'm pretty and Asian girl.
But you didn't do a video interview.
I did a video interview.
Maybe that's why. So, because I was saying I actually think the most important thing is you should network.
Network. 저스틴 네트워크 중요하다. 리즈님 정말 중요한 게 recommendation letter 그리고 observership도 결국은 observership 하는 데서 이제 추천서 받고 하는 거거든요. 인맥을 쌓는 게 굉장히 중요합니다. 아이님이 선생님 뜬금없지만 모티바는 안 좋은 부용물인가요? 케이스 연구가 오래되지 않아서 어떻게 생각하시는지 궁금해요. I asked, what do you think about the Motiva implant? I'm worrying about because it's in a market. Recently, it's in a market.
So you're the doctor.
You don't want to say?
I have my opinion, but you're the doctor.
저는 모티바 좋은 보형물이라고 생각해요. 지금 FDA 승인은 아직 안 났지만 FDA 스터디를 하고 있고.
Pending, right?
스터디를 하고 있고.
But actually, it's really all over in like South America and Europe and other places already, right?
저는 그러니까 이렇게 생각해요. 이런 거 뭐냐면은 아직 스터디의 결과가 나오진 않았지만 사용하는 사람들은 이게 스터디라는 거 뭐 몇백만 몇천만 해가지고는 이제 그 중에 뭐 구형구축 몇 명 생기고 해서 확률을 보는 거잖아요. 근데 이제 수술하는 사람들은 이제 몇 케이스만 해봐도 감이 오는데 저는 굉장히 좋은 보형물이라고 생각하고 이거를 아주 쉽게 설명할 수 있는 방법은 저는 모티바 주식이 있습니다. I bought a Motiva stock. 왜냐하면 저는 좋은 보형물이라고 생각하거든요. 근데 아직 FDA 승인이 안 났잖아요.
And then you have to say, I'm not a financial advisor.
오케이, 저 모티바 아무 상관없고 제가 모티바 주식을 살 거는 그러니까 이렇게 얘기하잖아요. 주식을 살 때 그 회사랑 평생 갈 수 있다고 생각하느냐, 이 회사의 제품이 정말 좋다고 생각하느냐, 이거를 보고 결정하라고 하잖아요. 저는 그런 면에서 FDA 되면 주식 많이 오르겠구나. 그래서 주식을 샀습니다. 근데 약간 뭐 남자친구나 남편분이랑 상담을 오실 때 이제 보형물에 대해서 걱정하시잖아요. 선생님 뭐 어떤 보형물 써야 되나요? 뭐 모티방 괜찮나요? 그럼 제가 저는 주식이 있습니다. 이렇게 얘기를 하면은 남편분들은 잘 알아들으시더라고요. 리스님이 네 USB를 통과해야 하는 것과 USC 클럭 시프팅의 과정들은 알고 있습니다. 네, 잘 알고 계시네요. 저슨 얘기한 것처럼 그게 되게 중요한 것 같아요. 커넥션, 인맥 이런 게. 소나님이 hello 교수님 저스틴 이렇게 뵈니 now you know now she's Sam's friend. 나은님 너무 오랜만이에요.
Yo, hello.
아이님이 한국에서는 마케팅이 너무 심하다고 들어서 과대포장된 느낌이 있어서 좋은 제품인가에 대해 의문이 있어요. I said, I think the Motiva is too overly marketed in Korea. 그거에 대해서 제가 I'm not gonna say it's not.
Okay.
마케팅을 잘했죠.
I can talk because I'm not a
저스틴이
doctor.
얘기할 거래. 그래, 자기는 의사가
I'm not a doctor.
삼자의
I am just a person who is familiar with business.
저스틴이 얘기하는 게 나는 의사 아니고 단지 비즈니스에 대해 아는 사람일 뿐. MBA.
So Motiva, yes, it's not US FDA approved yet, but they're going through all the testing, and from even her senior and other doctors, there's a lot of evidence to show it's a very safe implant, as safe as any other implant. So right?
You don't need to say it's the
But
safest implant.
I didn't say safe as any other implant, right? It's not widely spread in America because it's illegal in America. It's not FDA
Not
approved.
FDA approval.
But it's being used in other countries quite regularly, right? It's actually being manufactured in Brazil, I think, right? Or
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica. Okay. Now, when Motiva entered the Korean market, the business people decided to brand it a very specific way, and they branded it very aggressive.
Premium.
Yeah.
Premium implant.
And they actually, what's interesting with their business plan, they went B2C. They went business to consumer. So they marketed to the consumer. So I think that no other implant's done that, right?
여러분, 그래. 저스틴 지금 얘기한 게 뭐냐면 모티바가 지금 미국에서는 사용 안 하고 있죠. FDA 승인이 안 왔으니까. 하지만 되게 여러 국가에서 이미 많이 사용하고 있고, 제조국은 코스타리카지만 사실 거기에 있는 연구원들 이런 게 다 멘토나 알러간 예전에 아주 수십 년 동안 보형물을 만들어 오던 회사에서 연구원들이 다 넘어와서 Establishment Lab이라고 거기서 이제 만든 겁니다. 근데 저스틴이 또라니 죄송해요. 또라니님 라이브님 처음이에요. 안녕하세요. 근데 여기서 저스틴이 얘기하는 게 마케팅을 잘했다. 너무 마케팅이 심하다 이렇게 얘기했는데 사실 이제 다른 점이 뭐였냐면 B2C 마케팅을 처음 한 가슴 보형물이에요. 여러분 B2C가 뭐냐면 What is B2C?
Business to consumer.
Business to consumer. 예전에는 어떻게 했냐? 보면 회사들이 B2B라고 해요. Business to doctor로 했어. 의사한테 마케팅을 했어. 의사한테 가서 의사 선생님 이 보형물이 좋습니다. 이 보형물을 쓰세요. 이렇게 마케팅을 했단 말이야. 근데 이제는 어떻게 했느냐? 그 모티바가 처음에 한국에 들어와서 마케팅하는데 B2C 마케팅을 한 거예요. 환자들한테 일반 대중들을 상대로 이 보형물이 좋습니다 라고 마케팅을 한 거예요. 그랬더니 환자들이 그 마케팅을 보고 의사한테 와서 선생님 저는 이 보형물로 수술하고 싶습니다. 이게 된 거예요. 그러니까 어떻게 보면은 보형물의 선택권이 환자한테 간 거죠. 의사한테 간 게 아니라. 그런 게 있나요? So the power of choosing
Who to market to?
move to consumer,
Yeah.
not doctor.
So actually, this is an interesting segment. So like pharmaceuticals in America.
아, 맞아.
So in America, actually, companies can advertise the drugs to the consumer.
맞아요. 그러니까 저도 미국 가서 텔레비 볼 때 진짜 웃겼던 게 뭐냐면 한국에는 우리가 약 광고를 전혀 볼 수 없잖아요. 근데
But in
American TV, so many drug
Yeah.
advertisement. 한국에서 미국에서 TV 보면은 약 광고가 엄청 많아요.
But actually, it's illegal in Korea.
근데 이제 한국에서는 그걸 못 해요.
So pharmaceuticals
의료
can't market
광고상
directly to.
의료 광고법상 제약회사가 일반 대중을 상대로 광고를 못 하는 거예요.
But do you know why? I can
왜?
give you a really interesting example.
왜 안 되냐?
So COVID. What was the number one drug that people were taking during
자,
COVID?
코로나 시대에 사람들이 제일 많이 먹은 약이 뭐예요? 타이레놀.
That's a name brand drug.
근데 타이레놀은 사실 타이레놀은 이거 뭐라고 해야 돼?
Think about it. So Tylenol, the fact that they didn't market it, but consumers were talking about it, it was on the news. What happened to Tylenol? It's sold out everywhere.
여러분, 그래서 우리 코로나 때 없었잖아요. 타이레놀이 없어서 사람들이 다 타이레놀을 찾으니까. 근데 여러분, 타이레놀 사실 뭐냐면 아세타아미노펜이라는 성분을 가진 브랜드인 거예요. 그러니까 뭐라고 해요? How can I explain it? It's a brand.
It's the same drug. It's the actual chemical compound for Tylenol. Tylenol is just the name that the company gave this generic product.
이거지. 물이야. 물인데 삼다수랑 무슨 물 있어? 이런 약이 물이 똑같이 물이야. 그냥 물. 근데 브랜드가 틀린 거예요. 삼다수나 또 뭐예요? 뭐 에비앙 이렇게 해서 에비앙이랑 삼다수인데 물의 조성이 좀 다를 수는 있죠. 그냥 물이라고 합시다. 그러면 아세타아미노펜이라는 성분은 똑같은데 타이레놀이라는 브랜드가 있는 건데 일반 대중들이 타이레놀을 알고 막 타이레놀 sold out 다 팔린 거죠.
But that's the thing. So in Korea, it's illegal for pharmaceuticals to market to consumers. But I think certain medical device or certain things, somehow they got around it. They're marketing to consumers. So it created, I think, a big buzz. That's why Motiva has been so, people hear so much about Motiva. They don't hear about all the other implants because they don't market that direction. So to, who is it? I's question or I's point? That's why she said, I hear so much about Motiva. They market it towards a consumer. No other implant does it.
그러니까 타이레놀을 많이 팔으니까 환자들은 사실 아세타아미노펜이라는 성분명도 모르고 다른 브랜드가 있는지도 모르잖아요. 근데 타이레놀 너무 많이 듣다 보니까 타이레놀이 있는 건 아는 거야. 그러니까 이제 저스틴이 이제 아이님이 말씀하시는 게 마찬가지라는 게 다른 보형물 브랜드도 있고 뭐 이렇게 있는데 일반 대중을 상대로 광고하는 보형물이 모티바이다 보니까 이 사람들이 마케팅을 많이 들어본 것 같은 거죠. 다른 보형물보다. 또라니님이 차로 치면 약간 Jif can become like a representative.
They call it memes, right?
What is that?
GIF, like GIF? Picture?
No. What is that? Car.
Jeep. Jeep Wrangler. Actually, that's really popular in Korea too, right? So same idea. It's just marketing to consumer.
제품명 타이레놀, 성분명 아세토아미노펜이라고 하는 것 같아요. 맞아요. 그 와중에 영어 독학 좀 했다고 저스틴 말씀하는 거 좀 들리다 그래요. Interesting. My psychiatrists always get tied up by reps from pharma
companies, but we have difficulty talking about an antidepressant we might want to try because we don't know what's out there. So I'm not talking about necessarily different types of drugs. The thing is, between the brand and the generic, actually they're identical. They have to be identical or they can't be sold. So,
그러니까 완전 다른 약이 아니야. 성분은 똑같은 거야. 근데 약 이름이 틀린 거죠. 브랜드가 틀린 거죠.
But anyways, that's an interesting point that I brought up about Motiva. But think about it. I haven't heard about Elegant, Johnson & Johnson, or what is it? Mentor, or
Urosilica.
Because they don't market to the consumer. They market to the doctors.
They do now, but not heavily.
But Motiva went straight into that. So they took a very interesting direction. their approach is actually very brilliant from a business standpoint.
저스틴이 비즈니스 스탠포인트에서 굉장히 현명한 마케팅 방법이다. 근데 뭐 장단점이 있을 거예요. But I think there's an advantage and disadvantage.
What is a disadvantage?
Disadvantage because actually general public they don't know, they don't have professional knowledge about the breast implant.
That's why they go.
But they only get a perception from the advertisement.
But it's okay. Then they go to the doctor, and the doctor has to educate themselves about the different products or that product specifically. But if the consumer is asking for it, of course, the doctor has to be more knowledgeable and sell it to them.
Sure.
So you're building the demand. iPhone, same thing.
What do you mean?
Nobody knew they needed an iPhone. Or nobody knew they needed a smartphone. Steve Jobs went around saying, "Oh, I have the future, this or that." No, what are you talking about? iPad. We're gonna make an iPad. Nobody. Why do I need an iPad? I have a smartphone. I have a computer. Why do I need this weird thing? It's just a bigger phone, a bigger iPad or whatever it was at that time. iTouch. He created the demand. He sold it to the consumer. The consumer's like, "Oh my God, this is so great." It's marketing. It's brilliant. If you're a good marketer, I'm not. But anyways.
근데 이제 Jeep is pronounced that kind of
Sport utility vehicle. Yeah. But actually, it is. But it's not like... But in Korea, Jeep is considered like premium, right? It's not considered bad in America. It's still good in America. But Jeep is just another SUV. There's so many types of SUV.
우리나라에서 지프가 너무 과대평가되어 있는 것 같아. 그냥 미국에서는 SUV.
But it's a culture in Korea.
culture.
You have communities. Your friend, her husband had. They go Jeep exploring together on the weekends, and they drive up Rocky Mountains, and they all get together, and it's crazy. They built a culture around it.
Anyway, 아이님 굉장히
So interesting.
인트레스팅한 포인트를 집어주셨습니다. 사실 이런 얘기는 아마 아무도 하지 않을 거예요. 성형외과, I think no plastic surgeon will talk about this kind of thing.
But we didn't say anything bad, right?
Yeah, we didn't.
And you didn't. We didn't talk about. I talked about it, and I'm not a doctor, so I'm totally business perspective.
오케이, 제가 이렇게 결론을 내리겠습니다. 저스틴 지금 얘기하는 저는 사실 걱정이 된다. 왜냐하면 보형물 회사들이 컨슈머 이제 환자들한테 마케팅을 하다 보니까 어찌 보면은 성형외과 전문의들이 보형물에 대한 전문적인 지식을 가지고 있는데 환자들은 그냥 광고에 나오는 어떤 이미지, 뭐 의학적이거나 과학적인 그런 거 없이 이미지가 이렇게 광고를 하고 이미지가 원래 광고가 그렇잖아요. 광고에 막 이거는 어떻고 막 상세한 설명이 있는 건 아니잖아요. 그런 이미지만 받아들여서 보형물을 선택하는 게 걱정이 된다 했더니 이제 저스틴이 얘기하는 건 그래서 환자들이 가서 선생님 저는 모티바로 하겠습니다. 아니면 저는 이 보형물로 하겠습니다. 라고 얘기했을 때 이제는 의사가 더 이상 예전에 의사가 혼자 선택권을 가지고 환자한테 이 보형물로 하세요. 얘기를 했던 거랑 달리 이제는 환자도 보형물에 대해 알고 있고 그래서 의사가 그 환자한테 맞는 보형물을 선택해서 이 보형물 A, B, C의 보형물의 차이는 무엇이고 그래서 당신에게 맞는 보형물은 무엇입니다라고 설명해줄 그런 환경이 조성됐다. 그런 면에서는 장점이라고 얘기를 하네요. What?
For Liz, I actually Dorani asked us something. But after that, Liz said, my question was more about comparing the training environment and life of a U.S. resident and a Korean resident. Connections, recommendations, Goki, I can't read. Empowerment.
Training environment. 어디를 가나 힘든 건 마찬가지인 것
Actually,
같아요.
I think right now in America it's harder than Korea.
이제는 미국이 더 힘들어진 것 같아.
you guys are
한국은
hitting-
전공의법이 생겨가지고
You guys are
이거
hitting all these interesting topics that I have a lot of passion about.
사실은 제가 아까 전에 그 미국 친구랑 얘기했을 때 그 전공의 트레이닝 환경에 대해서도 얘기했었거든요.
So the
우리
past-
미국 친구가 너무 깜짝 놀라면서
So in the past couple of years, the labor laws in Korea got
They know,
more.
honey.
Okay,
I think
well,
Lee's probably know about
so
it.
that's why. So actually, the training environment in Korea, it's only 40 hours a week for residents, right?
I don't think it's 40 hours. 40 hours.
Yes. 40 hours or maybe around 40 hours. But in the States, residents are still training at minimum 80 hours a week, right? What are you doing?
I'm
Researching? So because of that span, so this is an interesting thing. So Korea, because now the labor laws are being held in the hospitals and residents are training kind of less hours than they were before, but they're still finishing their training in the same amount of time. Technically, they're only receiving about half of the amount of training that previous doctors were getting. So technically, in Europe,
80 hours.
in Korea, but your residents aren't.
No, 80 hours.
Are your residents already out? Really?
I think so. It's by law. 80 hours.
Are you sure? That's what the labor law dictates in Korea? That means every day they're working.
13 hours?
Are they?
I don't think so.
Exactly. So, anyways, she said, no, listen, no, it's 80 hours.
Oh.
So I guess if you're training 80 hours, it's okay. You'll probably be okay. So maybe it's vigorous. I don't know if all the residents in all the hospitals in Korea are training 80 hours though. Because I would assume that they're also working on the weekends. Right?
모르겠어요. 제가 약간 꼰대인지는 모르겠는데 수련 편한 게 수련 좋은 건 아니고 배워야 나중에 써먹을 게 있기 때문에 글쎄요. 수련 환경에 대해서. 근데 제가 봤을 때 미국에서 봤을 때 레지던트는 뭐 쉽지는 않았습니다. 성형외과에 한해서 제가 본 성형외과 레지던트들은 쉽지는 않았어요. 멘토 엑스트라 스무스에 대해서도 교수님이 어떻게 생각하는지 궁금해요. 최근에 나왔지만 충진율만 높이고 안에 게리나 둘러싼 막 같은 건 오랜 연구가 된 데이터가 많은 멘토 제품과 똑같다고 하던데 최근에 나왔다는 이유만으로 사용을 배제하거나 비소환화하시는 의사 선생님도 계시더라고요. I asked him about the mental extra implant. 맞습니다. 말씀하신 대로 게리나 웨피 이런 거는 예전부터 쓰이던 멘토랑 비슷한 멘토 제품과 비슷한데요. 약간의 보형물마다 몸 안에 들어갔을 때 살짝 틀려요. 그래서 환자를 보고 그 환자한테 맞는 보형물을 추천하는 것이 제일 중요하겠습니다. I can totally understand what Justin said. No, it's 이노피처럼 가상 성형 시스템 관련 브랜드 주식도 있으신가요? 아니요, 없어요. She's asking, do you have a stock of 3D simulation system in a fit?
No.
선생님 드디어 성형의 발을 들여놓을 수 있게 됐어요. 제가 메일 투 피메어 트랜스젠더인데 1년 8개월 동안 못 모아서 이스트 할인 공산 시작합니다. 또라니, she's a MTF, trans woman. She saved money. Finally, she started transition.
Congratulations. 축하합니다.
축하합니다. 그래요. 그만해야 될 거지. 모기가.
Your throat is dry.
목이 쉬고 있어. 오늘 너무 오래 했다. 지금 거의 12시 가까워지고 있어요. 오케이, 여러분. 일주일을 잘 내일 휴일이니까 내일 휴일도 잘 보내시고요. 오늘 너무 sensitive. I think we talk about a lot of sensitive topic.
It's all my fault. Blame me, not Kyori. If anything happens, it's me. I'm very insensitive. Kyori's very thoughtful. Anything I said is just my opinion and my opinion only.
Justin, maybe a year, not 2 years.
1 year? Why? Because you want to cut me off as quick as possible? Like 2 days! 2 days!
아이고, 그래요. 밤이 늦었어요. 또라님 정말 축하드리고 내일 휴일도 잘 보내십시오. 오늘 밤이 늦었네. 근데 내일 휴일이니까 늦잠 푹 주무시고요. 바이.
Good night. Sorry to keep you so late. Go to sleep.